Hello, Starberry Cubs! Starberry Woman here, bringing you your next love and relationship reading for those of you who feel drawn to this message and for whom it resonates at this time. This will not be everyone's story, as this is very general. It's not even zodiac based, just for whenever you feel the nudge to click play on this video. I apologize in advance. You may hear a buzzsaw in the background. That's just my neighbor. Can't do much about that. So I told this joke when I did the messages from Spirit reading, but I'm going to let you know as well. I had a light bulb moment the other day. And in this light bulb moment, I realized that the light in my bedroom had burnt out. And so I replaced it, and ta-da! We have more light. Let there be light, and it is good. All right, let's get into the reading here. So like last time, I have the divine masculine side, the divine feminine side, but it's not gender specific. It's whatever side you resonate with the most. You can be a woman, but you feel like you resonate more with the masculine side. You can be a man and resonate more with the female side, and anything in between. All is welcome, all is cool, all is possible. So let's dig in, starting with the overall energies for this reading, for whatever it is you need to know at this time. If you are watching this reading and the subject resonated, or you're just generally wondering what's going on in your romantic situation, whether you're single or in a relationship, I don't really know. My intentions are just for love and relationship. Okay, we have gratitude to start. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Gratitude. Well, you can't go wrong with gratitude. We all know what that means. That's being grateful for whatever it is you already have right now in your life. This could mean being grateful for the person that you are currently with, being grateful for something they've given you or done for you, or maybe it's the other way around, and they need to be more that way. We also got purpose. I know what I am here to do. Wow. So perhaps you are in a relationship with a purpose. It may not be just casual dating. It might actually, maybe there's a business partnership down the road in your future with this romantic partner. A business venture, or a hobby that you guys can do together. Maybe it's exercising, joining a group, a club, starting a hobby. I also want to say that the symbol, the mandala on this gratitude card, reminds me of a third eye opening. It's even the indigo color of the third eye chakra. So perhaps there's an element of awakening, or it could simply symbolize an eye-opening realization. Maybe you are just realizing your purpose together as a couple. Maybe this is a relationship you've been in for a while, and it's moving on to the next level. It's evolving, it's growing, it's changing. You're realizing that there's a bigger purpose to this relationship. I'm not implying anything on a deep spiritual level. Certainly those of you who resonate with the deeper spiritual concepts like twin flame, soulmate, karmic, what have you, take that however it resonates, but there is some sort of deeper purpose to your relationship. And there is the need as well to feel gratitude, which could in turn help open your third eye, which is your pineal gland, which is your forehead area, and that's what allows you to tap into your intuition and inner knowing. From the Moonology deck, we got emotions are running high, supermoon. So when you look at full moons, they already embody the end of a cycle. Everything that's happened throughout the month, it's kind of carrying that energy. And then when the full moon is about to wane, then when it's about to go back to being a new moon again, it's sort of a time of shedding whatever you don't need from that period and taking forward with you what you do need, what does serve you, what is positive towards your personal growth. So I do want to read actually the message for this card, which I will in a moment, because it's interesting, these Moonology cards, the descriptions don't always match what the words say, I find. The descriptions don't always fully encapsulate what the meaning really is. So I'm going to read that in a moment. We also have Hold Your Vision, which is fixed moon. I love this card because it's about don't let go of your dreams. That's basically what it means. And I've done this in another reading, but it's like, it implies to me that even if the moon isn't fully visible, it's still there. Even if your dream has not yet manifested, it's still there. Don't give up on it. Hang on to it. Okay, so there's some vision, dream, purpose that has to do with your partner, whether you're male, female, both female, identify as something else, it doesn't matter. Whatever relationship you are in that's romantic, there's some dream connected to it. There's some goal, there's some hope, there's something. Okay, so it's funny, I've actually been getting this card a lot lately as well, and the thing I love about this card in the book is that it goes over page 111, and that's a master number, that's an angel number, it signifies manifestation and that angels are by your side. It's number 3 is the number of starting to build your foundations, and it's friendship, collaboration. So it also indicates two people coming together and creating something, whether it's a mother and a father and having a child, or two people adopting a child. It can also indicate two people creating something, not necessarily a person, but building something together in this relationship context. That's what that means to me. So wow, that's all that I got from just the page number, which by the way, I put the book down and that's my page, but I didn't lose it because I know what page it's on. Okay, super moon. This card suggests the answer to whatever you're asking is writ large like the silvery full moon set against the velvety night sky. If you're wondering how successful something's going to be, such as a job or a relationship, the answer is very. To use common parlance, the answer to your question may well be that it's under your nose. This card is about being larger than life, being special and bursting with energy that you can tune into and work with. You can expect plenty of good things and a positive outcome when this card comes up, but you may find there's a lot of emotion to deal with too. There's also a sense that the opportunities around whatever you're asking about don't come along every day, so take action. The attuned to the moon messages, success is close, I just must trust. Other meanings are a resolution to your question is closer than you may think. Don't ignore the obvious. Can you ignore that? I don't think you can. It's pretty clear that there's a full moon on this card. Okay. And last but not least, Wisdom of the Oracle. What else can we get for this particular love and relationship scenario? Which, by the way, parts of this may resonate, other parts may not. So just take it or leave it. Take what helps, leave the rest for someone else. Not every reading will be perfectly bang on to each person's situation, but I can in the very least hope that something I say might plant a seed or be helpful or encouraging in some way. So it looks like there's some vision or purpose that you both have in mind for the relationship that you are grateful for, or there is a need for you to be grateful for what you have right now, because perhaps this vision or purpose is not yet manifested or taken root, but there is something that is causing emotions to be running high in your current relationship, which would explain, why you're seeking answers. The first card we have is Orphaned, and it's number 5, and 5 is the number of conflict and tension. Sometimes it's necessary conflict in order to learn something. So let's see what this card says. The essential meanings are a sense of loss and an identity crisis, recognizing you don't fit in, the need to belong, uncertainty about your place. The relationship message is, as you shift and evolve and commit to your own growth, you long for support but may be disappointed and hurt by others who are not providing what you feel you deserve. Perhaps you are drifting away from this relationship because you're in a different stage of personal growth. Perhaps you are in a new relationship and discovering that you don't share the same values and beliefs, so you feel left out unable to get to that intimate place of safety and belonging. Take heart, as Spirit knows you and loves you and will steer you in the direction of those who accept you as you are without artifice or agenda. Don't compromise yourself to belong. It won't be worth the price. Oh. Okay, this took a turn. I was thinking before that the person you're in a relationship with is someone you feel you have a purpose and a mission with. And that could be the case for some of you, but for others, what might be going on here is that you feel you have a purpose, a vision, a dream, a mission, and the current person you're with is kind of holding you back, which could be why emotions are running high. But let's dig a little deeper. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, we got soulmates, but it's in reverse. And the soulmate card is essential meanings are harmonious partnerships, love, friendship, companionship, or relationship fostering personal growth. Interesting, because the other card, orphaned, is about also evolving and growing in your personal life. The protection message. An important relationship brings you to your knees. This is the kind of soulmate who comes with a powerful gift. Your patterns and all your old stories that don't serve your well-being enter into this dynamic so you can heal them. This person is called to a sacred task to help you learn, even if it seems uncomfortable, sticky, or even inconceivable. The question is not, why did he or she do this to me? But rather, what is the gift in this? Look into this mirror. You will only be changed for the better. Okay, I see. What's going on? It seems, for some of you, or most of you, because this seems to be the story, is you are in a relationship right now that you feel like you might be orphaned by this person. You feel you might be betrayed or abandoned because they are challenging you in some way. But because their role in your life is to challenge you. That is their purpose. Their purpose is to challenge you. And they're helping you get to your dream and your vision by challenging you. Now, I'm not saying this is a forever person, but they're in your life right now because they're a soulmate. But it's the soulmate in reverse, which means that their role right now is to trigger you, challenge you, help you grow. Now, triggering doesn't always have to denote a negative thing. It's not necessarily something they do from a malicious place. Triggering is just saying something, saying the necessary things, doing the things that cause certain feelings in you to arise. And that's just the universe's way of saying that you need to focus on that. It's the universe's way, your higher self, spirit's way of drawing attention to you, areas that need some work in your life. And there are people that will come into your life from time to time who will help you see those areas for whatever reason, because there's somebody that you've made special in your life because you're in a relationship with them, so they have the ability to do that for you. And that would explain why your emotions are running high, because when you're being poked and triggered in ways that aren't always pleasant, triggering isn't always unpleasant either. Cool synchronicities that happen and deja vu can also trigger. But maybe you're being asked to be grateful for this person, for what they are doing for you at this time in your life, which is they're shedding light on things, that areas of your life that need work. And we have, this is interesting, we have another 5 card, because 3 and 2 reduces to 5, 23. And we have peace. Oh, beautiful message, because in this time when your emotions are running high, when you are perhaps butting heads with your partner, or they are doing or saying things that make you wonder if they are really for you, if they are really on your side, you can feel peace. You can feel inner peace about it. The essential meanings are freedom from attachment, radical acceptance. So yeah, they might be teaching you detachment, which is an important lesson. I certainly have had to learn that lesson myself, which is to not depend on others for your happiness, but to find that happiness within yourself, which sounds cliche, I know, but it's so much deeper than that. It's about, and actually gratitude will do that as well, being grateful for what you yourself have when you're on your own. Because only when you are truly at one with yourself, at peace with yourself, can you bring that forward into a relationship. So if this is a person whose role is to be a catalyst in your life, to trigger you, your weak spots, your sore spots, your scar tissue, your unhealed wounds, if that is their purpose in your life, in your relationship at this time, then perhaps one of the lessons you need to learn is detachment, and you need to learn how to love yourself and to learn what kind of love it is that you need from others. You need to become the partner that you are looking for in others. The relationship message is when two people are in true alignment with one another, they have an innate harmony between them. They are as two perfectly tuned instruments playing together. Sometimes it's impossible to tell who is who. Peace is yours and it is to be savored. Now, in some ways, this looks like it's contradicting what I just said, which is learning detachment and learning how to be happy and okay on your own. But see here, the thing is, when you attain oneness with yourself and peace, inner peace and harmony, when you attain inner peace and harmony and your chakras are aligned and you're balanced and you come into a relationship as a whole person, that is when you can achieve perfect harmony with another person who also comes to you whole and balanced and complete and having done their work as well. I'll read it again. They are as two perfectly tuned instruments playing together. That is such a perfect example, actually, of two people being whole before they come together. Two instruments. Think of it in terms of two musicians, okay? Two musicians who are playing a duet. If one person comes, let's say it's two harps. I'm a harpist. I love the instrument. And they actually need a lot of tuning. It can take quite a long time. Anyway, let's say two harpists are playing a duet together and it's a concert, so it's really important to be at their best. And one of the harpists comes with their harp completely perfectly tuned and well maintained and regulated. The other person comes with their harp all battered and beaten and the strings are not tuned. Do you think that music will sound good? No, probably not. But if both people put the work into their instruments, and harps are a really good example for this metaphor actually, because they do require a lot of maintenance and care and love, and they have to be in the right level of humidity for the wood not to go dry, and then the soundboard would crack. So both people, a perfect relationship is when both people they come into the relationship having taken good care of their instruments individually. They come to the concert with both of their instruments finely tuned to make beautiful, harmonious music together. Ah, and there's your message. Thank you. Good night. Just kidding. We're not done. But that's that. Then we have deep knowing. The essential meanings are intuition, listening to the oracle within, empathy, and hypersensitivity. Ah, yes. We do tend to get hypersensitive when we have someone in our midst who is poking us and prodding us and saying things that trigger us, pointing out our flaws in a loving way. But it certainly does get our emotions running high. It puts us a little bit on high alert. It puts us on the defensive. The relationship messages. There are occasions when you just know deep in your heart and soul that a person is going to play a meaningful role in your life. I am not making this up, guys. Someone crosses your path and suddenly, out of the blue, you're connected at a level impossible to describe, which is, by the way, the feeling you get with a soulmate. That feeling marks a moment in time etched indelibly onto your soul. Someone has entered your life who will be instrumental. I'm telling you, I have to show you this. Instrumental in your journey. Was I not just talking about instruments, finely tuned instruments? And yeah. They will be instrumental in your journey, so pay attention. Two hearts are calling to each other to begin an alchemical process. Oh, beautiful. I have to say too that on the soulmate card is The male is holding a key. The female has the keyhole, which is such a beautiful image of the two being made for each other. But of course, we have multiple soulmates in our life. This is not just the one person only who can do this for you. Many people can do this, actually. Even friends, co-workers, family members, children, grown-ups, grandparents, anybody, strangers, anyone can be a soulmate. Anyone can play the role of a catalyst to say just the right thing at just the right moment that helps you realize something or learn something. This is also a sign that your intuition about the person you care about is correct. Trust your heart to lead you now. Magic is about to happen. And I also want to point out, I love when this happens, but look at the similarities of these cards. They're almost the same card. Same colors, shades, and this one's an egg and this one's a moon, but we also have birds, the owl and the dove. The dove, of course, representing peace, the owl representing knowledge, wisdom, intuition. The moon represents also something still unknown. It can mean that. It can mean some sort of mystery, which I think in this case, the mystery for you might be fully understanding what this person's role is for you, which might be what I'm helping you understand now. And then we have the egg, which is potential, something that's not quite complete yet. So don't give up on this. Okay, so that's the overall energies portion. And normally I like to keep the cards out, but I've made my point with these cards and we need room for the next part of this reading. And I hope my camera doesn't die. Okay, we're going to start with the divine masculine side. What does Spirit have to tell us about the divine masculine in this particular relationship situation? Again, this can be male or female, just if you resonate with this side. Okay, the first card out is Justice reversed. So this just tells me the divine masculine is perceiving an unfairness. Something is unjust. Either that or there actually is an unfairness or an injustice happening on the divine masculine side, but I think for the purpose of this reading, they feel that something is unjust or unfair. Perhaps in how they feel they are being perceived by their partner, perhaps because of being triggered. But let's see what else we got. We got the Hanged Man, which is seeing things from another perspective. It's a card of enlightenment. As you can see, there's a halo around his head, but he was, and it's about surrender. So this happens from the hero's journey standpoint. The hangman happens after a time of conflict and trying things and failing and trying again and feeling like things are unfair and not working. Putting a lot of work into something and it not working. Putting a lot of work into something and bearing no fruit. Interestingly, the hangman comes after Justice. As you can see, Justice is card 11 and the Hangman is card 12. So very interesting. So yes, he feels something was unjust and feels a little bit attacked. And actually the Hangman has been strung up in the tree by other people, but he doesn't struggle. He just lets them put him up, and he just uses this as a time of, okay, this is a divine pause. So it's this attitude of, all right, if you're going to put me up here, I guess I'll just make the best of it and do some thinking. And he also is seeing things from a different perspective. So essentially this is about feeling unfairly put on pause, on hold, or being put in a place where you have to see things from a different perspective. So there's this energy of not really enjoying it. Which might be why you're being encouraged to have gratitude, because it ultimately is for your greater good. But anyway, we'll go on. The next card for the divine masculine side is the Four of Pentacles, which is the feeling of holding on to something, whether it's material things. It could be also about feelings, not sharing. Doesn't he look awfully greedy? It's also the card of the hoarder. As you can see, he's got probably all of his money on him, carries it with him at all times, and it doesn't look like he's sharing. So maybe with the triggers that the other person is doing, the masculine, in this case, which would be the feminine, the masculine is not forthcoming with their feelings. Maybe this is a scenario of the woman saying, how are you feeling? Tell me how you feel. Talk to me. And the male or the divine masculine, I don't want to talk about it. You know, could be that. Could be that. And the last card is the Nine of Pentacles, which is abundance, but it also is a card of independence. It's about slow, hard work. Somebody who's a business owner, somebody who's worked really hard on their own to build up their business or their abundance, their wealth, but they're also single. But it's somebody who has control of every aspect of their life. See, she's got a falcon, a hooded falcon, so no doubt this bird is trained to do her bidding. So perhaps the masculine is someone who is used to having people work for them and follow orders. Maybe this just means that the masculine is used to getting their way. They're used to having their life in order and being just so. Maybe they've been a bachelor for a while. Or not just a bachelor or a bachelorette, whoever identifies with this energy. But maybe this means this person on the masculine side has been a single for a while. And they've gotten very used to the single life. They've mastered the single life. Maybe they have found their wholeness and harmony by being on their own. And they're finding it difficult being in partnership. But they know there's something about this partner that is important for them. Interesting. Let's get some Divine Feminine now. See if we can get more to this story. The first card out is the King of Cups reversed for the Divine Feminine side. This is interesting. The King of Cups in the upright represents someone who has control over their emotions. They have mastered the emotional realm. They're emotionally mature, but they are also somewhat isolated and not very forthcoming with their emotions. They don't share their emotions freely. As you can see, he's kind of on an island surrounded by water. So a little bit hard to get to know, but they do feel deeply. They're loyal, they're loving. However, it was in reverse, which can denote abuse, scandal, control issues, or manipulation. So we'll just put that there. Not sure what to do with that yet. Maybe that's how the masculine perceives the feminine. We then have the Hierophant also in reverse. And the Hierophant, not in reverse, represents the spiritual being represented on Earth in the 3D realm. So it can be religion, tradition, convention. It can literally mean going to church or temple, synagogue, some place of worship. Can mean, it can also mean high level commitment or having a mentor, teacher, leader, guide. But in reverse, it's a questioning commitment, questioning everything that you know to be true, questioning authority. And so this could represent the feminine questioning the male, the masculine, causing him to question everything that he knows to be true and real, questioning the foundation that he's created, worked so hard for himself to create. Her role in his life could be to shake up those foundations. And interestingly, I just noticed that there's two pillars, just like in the High Priestess card. So in reverse, it could mean shaking up the foundations. And perhaps the masculine perceives that as manipulation or being controlling. We also have Three of Cups in reverse. A lot of reversals for the feminine side. Now, again, not reversed. It's friendship, support, celebration. It can indicate a third-party energy, meaning that there's another element or person involved in this situation, influencing the situation. But in reverse, it means feeling not supported, not feeling unsupported, that maybe there's been too much partying, not enough taking things seriously. It can mean feeling betrayed. It also denotes emotional distress. It can mean an affair because of third-party energy. So I don't know if this is what's going on. I'm definitely not going to make that call. But it could again be the masculine's perception. Maybe it's the feminine perception of the masculine, that there's some infidelity or disloyalty And maybe the feminine made that accusation and the masculine feels that that is unfair because it isn't true. But maybe she said some other things, she or he, the feminine, said some things to give him a different perspective on the relationship. Then we have the Ten of Wands, which is basically getting ready to throw in the towel, burnout. It's the card of burnout, of we're having worked so hard for something and then throwing in the towel, feeling like it is done, handing over the burden to someone else to deal with. It's just being tired, exhausted. And also it's like out with the old, in with the new, burning away what doesn't serve and getting ready for a fresh start. So this could either be bad or good. It could be that the feminine is ready to lay aside all those burdens, all of those conflicts, the fights that you've had. It seems like there's been some pretty serious conflicts, if there's question of loyalty, commitment, questioning commitment. Maybe the feminine was questioning the masculine's commitment to the relationship. And maybe the feminine feels manipulated or abused in some way. So, but it could mean, wanting to end the relationship because of that, or wanting to end all this conflict and have a fresh start together, which I think is where this is going, because there is a purpose to the relationship. Although, however, if this resonates as being, if you are getting to this reading at a time when you feel it's time for the relationship you're in to end, that doesn't take away from the fact that it has a purpose or had a purpose, and you can be grateful for the role that the relationship took in your life. So I think where this reading is going is that whether or not this relationship continues, it had a purpose. It has or had a purpose. And you can be grateful for what the relationship has taught you thus far. I also think there is a good chance that this relationship could survive, because the last card we got is the Ten of Cups, which is emotional abundance, happiness, it's completion. You've worked really hard. It's after a lot of hard work of collecting your emotional cups over the years, or it represents the hard work even in your relationship, the work that you have done to get to know each other and to overcome hurdles. And this is the happy result, that you have happy home, happy children, or it could be pets, or it could just be having a nurturing, stable home life and healthy relationship together. So there's that as well, which is interesting, because we have the 10 of just about to give up, 10 of Wands, just about to give up, and also the 10 of Cups, which is the completion of your emotional abundance. So that tells me that perhaps the Divine Feminine is more so willing to set aside the conflict and the issues at play. Now let's just dig into the mutual energies, and that might clarify even further what's going on. But there could be multiple storylines going on here. In case you're wondering why I put this here, and I did that last week as well, this is a rose quartz, which is a stone of love. It's a stone of relationships, love and relationship, but also self-love, also self-worth, being enough, being worthy. Okay, this is really bizarre. If you saw my love and relationship reading last week, this is just really bizarre. So, the King of Earth and the Queen of Earth, they both showed up last week. Well, ta-da, they showed up again. I am seriously not making this up. I shuffled them. They showed up again. Well, interestingly, she showed up upside down this time, but there are no reversals in this particular deck. But what the hey? The chances of that are really, really slim. If you don't believe me, check my reading from last week. That's, yeah. But we got some other cards that are new. Yeah. we got 5 of fire, which is 5 of wands, and that's conflict. It can be healthy competition, training kind of energy, but it's also, I'm guessing in this case, considering the divine feminine cards and also the divine masculine feeling like things are a little unjust, feeling a little bit martyred or, you know, strung up, that there's a conflict that needs to be worked out. But so this is a reminder that there is a purpose to the relationship. So open your third eye, pay attention to your intuition. What can be gained from this relationship? Ask yourself that. What can be gained also from the conflict? Try to make the best of it, whatever it is. To learn about each other, to maybe some of the conflict is from the masculine having trouble learning how to work around having another person in his life because he got so used to being single. And he's going to have to release some of that or be a little bit more flexible. And interesting, the message last week was that the divine feminine was being too controlling and micromanaging the divine masculine's life. This really does seem to be a continuation. This seems like the next episode on the Love and Relationship show. Last week on Love and Relationships. Cue the recap. But anyway, there seems to be a little bit more going on, and another encouragement to understand that there's a purpose here. So maybe dig deeper to find what it is. What is the conflict teaching you? And sorry, for those who missed last week's episode, the suit of earth is pentacles, which is material things and the material realm, and in this case when it's the king and queen, it's abundance. They've both mastered that suit. They're the masters of that suit. They have the energy of entrepreneurs, people who run their own businesses. They've learned all the tricks of their trade, and they are, it's like the energy of a boss or CEO. But the suit of earth is also slow and stubborn and set in their ways. So it's, I don't know if any of you are earth signs, but it seems that both parties, divine and masculine, divine feminine, divine masculine, are very stubborn. Very stubborn. Last week I had her facing him. I'm going to have it the other way just to switch it up, because it would seem that there's a conflict that's ongoing. Now, this, of course, doesn't have to actually be a continuation of last week's reading, but it is really strange. It's really strange that the King and Queen of Earth came out. It's already unusual to have divine counterparts both show up. You could get the King of one suit, but not the Queen, or the Queen of another suit, right? But it's very unusual. So I really have to point that out. We also have 4 of air, which is equivalent to 4 of swords. And that is the energy of resting amidst conflict. So the conflict's not done, but it's sort of taking a break, taking a breather. 4 comes after 3, and the 3 of air, 3 of swords, is heartbreak, separation, divorce. It would seem perhaps as a couple you almost got to the point of ending things, which is what I just said before about this card. Getting to the point of considering ending, and questioning the commitment. But you're still together. This couple is still together in a period of resting, trying to reevaluate the relationship. And interestingly, 5s are conflict, and so 5 of air, 5 of swords is more conflict, and we have 5 of fire here. Fire is passion. So there's a conflict in what you both want, and there's also some conflict in what you're thinking how you're processing things, but taking a break from that. Here's another example of thinking of leaving, as Eight of Water is about walking away from something that you've put a lot of time and energy and effort into, but there's been no bearing of fruit. There's been no materialization of whatever it is you've been working towards or waiting for. However, the positive side to this card is, in traditional tarot, it's Eight of Cups, of course. And the idea is that he turns and walks away from those 8 cups that didn't go anywhere, but he walks away in search of the 2 cups, the 2 of Cups. And the 2 of Cups represents love, partnership, marriage, soulmates. So you could look at it as, yes, thinking about walking away, but also having a fresh start and trying to find a way to make the relationship work, because whatever was happening before wasn't working, and you both need a firm reminder that there's a reason why you're together, and to find what that reason is, the purpose, and to be grateful for whatever it is you have to teach each other. And last we have 10 of Earth, which is the completion of this Pentacles suit, the Earth suit. It's absolute material of wealth and abundance, which goes right along with the King and Queen. So I see this as a good omen because wow, look, we got 10 of Cups. I think this happened last week too, where there was like a ridiculous amount of positive, happy, abundant cards. Yeah, last week you got the 10 of Cups as well, but it was in this good tarot deck. Good grief. What is going on here? You know, I watched a lot of readers, and I have seen readers get frustrated with repeating storylines, saying, this story again? I was hoping for something new. And I marveled at how that was even a thing, but I think it's a thing. However, this seems to be digging a little deeper into last week's story, as I said. So the gist is, yeah, times are tough. Times are tough, and you're questioning whether or not to stay together. And like I said before, whether or not you do choose to stay together, I think the most important thing to get from this reading is to be grateful for what you taught each other, what you learned from each other, because every relationship has a lesson. Every hardship, every challenge, every obstacle, even when it feels like a failure, it's not. As long as you can come out of it having learned, having grown, having evolved. And just look at the colors of this card. It's interesting. It's almost like yin yang, you know, that the green of this card is here and then the purple of this card is here. You see that as yin yang. So there's some balance there. Whatever happens, it's positive and it's meant to be. Another thing I'm drawn to are these 2 cards. I've been following along with the divine masculine, divine feminine storylines on other readers' channels. And in case you're wondering what I even mean by that, is that there's this idea of divine counterparts, masculine and feminine. The archetype of what it means to be masculine, what it means to be feminine. And we all embody both aspects of the masculine and the feminine. And we are at an age, a shift of consciousness, a paradigm shift, where we're all being called to find balance with our inner divine masculine and feminine, but also in the external world between 2 people who, and again, this is why I say it doesn't matter whether you're male or female. Every couple has aspects of the divine feminine, the divine masculine. Even in nature, in the flora and fauna kingdoms, there are masculine and feminine. There are opposites. So that's the general idea of what that means. And I'm just sitting here holding these cards. So the general storyline of those who embody the divine masculine, who identify as being a masculine, the general storyline is that they are striking out on their own, figuring out who they are, making sure they find their independence. And sort of, there's a general idea that there's a lot of avoidance of relationship, avoidance of commitment, fear of commitment, fear of love. Again, this is no knock on men as a gender, but this is just talking about the archetype of masculine. And the divine feminine is, in general, in this shift, is seeing the potential of relationship, seeing what it could be. And there are a lot of feminines who are aware of who their masculine partner is, sometimes sooner than he is aware of it. And so there are a lot of people right now going through this period of, there's a runner-chaser element where the masculine runs and the feminine chases, saying, but look at what we could have together. There's all this wonderful goodness waiting for us. There's a rainbow of goodness full of cups of milk and honey. And the masculine is like, no, 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 I want to be alone. I want to be independent. Leave me alone. And sort of in denial of the connection, even though they feel the deep love inside of their hearts. So I don't know where you fall on the spectrum of that. Whether you're in a marriage relationship or single or just coming out of something, that is kind of the overarching energies between these counterparts, between the opposite of masculine and feminine. So I'm just, all that to say, these cards seem to embody that perfectly. And notice that this is a 9 and this is a 10. So the 9 is almost, but not yet, and 10 is completion, the end, the grand finale. So there's this dichotomy of one waiting for the other to catch up, which is something that I hinted at in last week's reading. So I'm going to close now because this has just gone all over the place. Gotta cover all the bases, right? I am going to draw from the Divine Feminine deck. No insult to the Divine Masculines, I just don't happen to have a Divine Masculine deck. We got Parvati, which seems to sum this up nicely. The goddess of devotion. I am a love that doesn't leave. When I commit to love, my soul evolves. Yeah, so I kind of touched on little bits of this before, but the whole idea of the relationship having purpose and having there's a mission for both of you to be together. I did say that, I believe, and to feel gratitude for what you're learning, even though it can be a really, really hard relationship. I haven't been saying the words because my intentions were not for this to be a twin flame reading, and it's not. But twin flame is a word used for this kind of relationship situation. And you could also call it soulmates or a karmic relationship, or it could just simply be a plain old relationship. But regardless of what it is, it's been challenging, clearly. And yet there's so many dividends, so much fruit to bear. There's a lot of hard work, but a lot of results and rewards and abundance that come from the hard work of this relationship. But of course, if it's a toxic relationship, if there is manipulation or emotional abuse, then definitely get out of it or get counseling or therapy or something. All of that needs to be said as well. But here we go. Parvati. This is why the card came up for you. What is soft, gentle, and nurturing like water can be far more powerful than what is inflexible and fierce. Oh, inflexible. Yeah, that's what this guy's like. He's just kind of stiff as a board. The energy of this mountain goddess is about the strength we can give and receive when we devote ourselves to the healthy bonds of love. Parvati is about the divine feminine potency of being a calm, benevolent presence, especially when something seems to threaten a deeply meaningful relationship, such as deep-seated conflict and accusations of infidelity and unfairness and all of those things, whether or not they are true. Transformation with this goddess calls for a softening. When a situation is hard, even painful, Parvati is suggesting that you allow your fist to unfold. Wow. You know, again, back to this card. He doesn't have his hand in a fist, but, this card can be a card of hoarding and not sharing and not giving, like tight-fisted, right? Being tight-fisted is what this card is about. Open and release what is clenched in fear or stress. Remember that your love is a mountain that cannot be moved, and that this bond between you is holy. No human hands or words can ever break it. The answer of what's next or highest for you can be found through the subtler act of simply abiding, not reacting, not running, not hiding. Oh, I was talking about the runner-chaser element before of Twin Flames. A deep reservoir of power can surge up from within us when we choose to remain present. Letting devotion inhabit us in moments when our ego has typically fled infuses us with the capacity to transform all of our relationships. Devotion is not attachment. It's letting go of the illusion that you and this lover, this friend, this child or family member, this soul within you can never really be separate from you. Devotion brings us home to the point and purpose of every relationship, love. A love that can never leave and that, like a mountain, can never move. A love that evolves the soul. Yes. A love with a purpose, a relationship with a purpose. There's a reason you met. There's a reason that you came together. No time is wasted. And we also got Our Lady of Guadalupe. I am safe and divinely protected. I am held in love at all times. I feel led to read her story before I read why it was picked, why this card was selected. Who she is. Our Lady of Guadalupe is the emblazoned emblem of the uniquely powerful protection of a mother's love. Her image is believed to have miraculously appeared within the tilma, or cloak, of Saint Juan Diego. She appeared to him 4 times, the first of which was on December 9th, 1531. She spoke to Juan in his native Nahuatl language and asked him to build a church in her honor. They were standing on the Tepeyac hill outside Mexico City, where the Spanish had recently destroyed a temple to the mother goddess Tonantzin, an Aztec goddess of love. Juan Diego tried to convince the Archbishop of the authenticity of the apparition, but to no avail. He asked Guadalupe to give him a sign that would help convince the Archbishop of her identity. She appeared to Juan a final time and told him to collect the Castilian roses, not native in Mexico, that were in bloom at the top of Tepeyac Hill. He gathered the roses in his cloak, and when they fell before the Archbishop, they could both see the emblem of Our Lady of Guadalupe inscribed on the inside of his cloak. Her image on Juan Diego's cloak has become Mexico's most popular religious and cultural symbol. It hangs above the high altar in the Basilica of Guadalupe in Mexico City. The basilica is the most visited Catholic pilgrimage site in the world and the world's 3rd most visited sacred site. Its preservation and its mysterious creation have been a fascination for scholars and art historians for centuries. It seems to be defying the laws of nature, both by not decaying the way a natural substance should and by having been created in what seems to be one fell swoop rather than with multiple brush strokes. Whew! Wow. Why this card was selected? For you. What is outside of us is also within us. Even if we have never experienced a mother's love, the true force of that loving protection exists within us. This can also just mean the divine feminine. So we can give it to ourselves. When Saint Juan Diego was concerned that the Archbishop would not believe him and was racing to meet Our Lady of Guadalupe, she appeared suddenly and said the most beloved phrase in the apparition story, a phrase that is inscribed on the entrance to her basilica. No estoy yo aquí que soy tu madre? Am I not here, I who am your mother? The energy of a mother's love can travel to meet you anywhere, whether within the world or within your own heart. The message is that she is here. You are mothered. But the message is also to ask for what you need. Saint Juan Diego asked Our Lady of Guadalupe for a sign that proved her identity and existence. She gave him her image emblazoned inside his cloak, one that had been venerated and considered holy ever since because he asked for her assistance. We are ennobled with free will. The divine needs our request for assistance in order to enter our lives. All we need to do is to assume the simplicity, the heart, and the humility of a child and ask for a sign that she is here. We will be met with more love than we could ever imagine, and love is always the greatest and most powerful energy of protection. This seems like a strange card to get in a love and relationship reading. However, considering I've been talking about the concept of the divine masculine and feminine and how we have both elements within ourselves and our soul, and there is an imbalance. We have the paradigm over the last few centuries has been that the masculine has dominated the feminine. and the feminine has to rise back up. So I don't know, take this how you want. I'm just going to put that there because it did come up for this reading. And it was a very interesting story. I'll have to say that. And closing with a Crystal Spirits reading for this relationship. So this is not only a reading that might resonate for some of you on a personal level. I feel like this is also a more general reading about the paradigm shift that's happening in the world regarding male and female. In fact, our whole idea of what is male and what is female is being questioned and challenged, and it's changing. And it's changing in wonderful, beautiful ways. We got Seraphos Green Quartz. The essential meanings are life on life's terms, joie de vivre, and acceptance of our place in the world, heaven on earth, what is meant to be. The relationship messages, the rigidity you felt when pushing for what you desired is absent now, as you are coming to accept that what is cannot be changed, at least not yet. This moment must be experienced exactly as it is, so that you may see your relationships with clarity. Being honest about what you can change and what you can't is a big step toward co-creating what you desire and deserve. So be present, let the tears flow, rest assured that the conscious universe is your ally. There's far more love coming your way than you can even imagine. We also got Spessartine Garnet. Not sure I'm saying that right. Essential meanings are charm and charisma, shining and sparkling, being a brilliant beacon of confidence that inspires others. The relationship messages, you are a unique being with a light only you can emit. Do you think you have to work harder to make people like you? What if your soulmate is out there waiting for you to stop trying so hard and just be your glorious, amazing, brilliant self? What if your soulmate is waiting for your beacon to send out the message, I am here and ready for a partner to shine with me? Hello? Would that beacon be a falcon, mayhaps? That's really funny. Today is a good day to recognize all that is attractive in you and stop trying to hide it out of some sort of fear that others might not be comfortable seeing you in your full glory. Shine brightly today. That is a common theme that has been coming out in the story of the masculine as well. Being afraid of how powerful they are, how magical and amazing they are, and their all that potential. This kind of went all over the place, but I am feeling the flow today, and I feel like this is just what has to go out. So take what resonates, leave the rest. I'd be very surprised if this whole entire reading resonated for someone. If it did, great. And if so, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can get more notifications from my channel. All I can say is hang in there. Well, seems like you already are. Well, one of you is. But hang in there. All this hard work has a purpose. Whether it's the purpose is done, or still to come, or it's still unfolding. Either way, there's a reason you came together, and try to find the positives. Try to find all the things you're thankful for and grateful for in your partner. And I think the key thing is to learn from this experience and allow it to help you grow and evolve. Remember I said at the beginning, the feminine is sort of poking and prodding and triggering the masculine to grow, you know, sweeping out the closets and digging deeper to find those sore spots, weak spots. And the masculine is doing this to the feminine as well. It's not just one way. And it's hard. It's hard work, whether you do it alone or you do it with a partner or with a therapist or a friend. But doing this deep sea diving and rabbit hole jumping and being introspective, doing that really hard dark night of the soul inner work takes a lot of energy, a lot of guts, a lot of courage, and it's painful and hard, but it's so worth it. And so if you're one of those people that has a partner helping them with that process, then all the more power to you, to both of you. So regardless of how this goes, it's a blessed union, and it was not a waste. None of it was a waste. You will both come out of this union stronger, people, spiritually awakened, or just more self-confident and sure of who you are and what you want and what you need. Love and light to you. Hello, Starbear Cubs! Starbear Woman here to bringing the maybe it's the feminine perspective of, or maybe it's the feminine perspective. Maybe it's the feminine perception of the mask. Oh, just a minute. Gotta let the flame of truth. There's a rainbow full of cups full of nectar and honey and milk and good things. Lucky charms. Oh my gosh, I'm cutting that out. Co-creating what you desire and deserve.